I've always been a huge Hunger Games fan. Catching Fire is one of my favorite movies of all time, as well as my favorite of like the original trilogy when it came to the books. And so when Suzanne was coming out with a new book that had to do with the subject matter of Hunger Games, I was so excited.
Coriolanus is just such a complex character, and seeing him go from young man who is kind of troubled and fighting for his family to young man who is still troubled, but this time has kind of a goal and an aim, albeit a dark one, and he becomes kind of dark and heavy towards the end, and he becomes the kind of dictator that we know him to be in the original movies. And seeing that kind of origin story take place is something that I just couldn't not do.
Sejanus, you made it to the reaping for once.
And you made it to graduation. Festus, we're both shocked.
Spill it, who won the prize?
I know, I wouldn't want to ruin my father's big day. No one here actually likes him, but they do love his money. You know what that's like, don't you, Arachne?
Lucy Gray is such a compelling character, and she's kind of a breeding ground for what Katniss becomes 65 years later. What's so amazing about this story, whether you're reading the book or when you're watching our film, is that you can never really tell whose side she's on. And the way I approached her was that she's always on her side, her own side, her family, her friends, herself. And I think that's why her relationship with Coriolanus is so interesting, is because she starts to see what it's like to put someone else's needs before your own, and she's loving with her whole heart, but when she starts to see traits in him that she may not find trustworthy, she has to put herself first and make those decisions.
Rachel is, I mean, she's so enigmatic. She just sings Lucy Gray. She is Lucy Gray. I think my first experience of Rachel was watching her sing in our chemistry read, which was over Zoom. And I sat there, and you know, Zoom doesn't really give you much emotional feedback, but I sat there and I ended up crying just watching her sing, because she has this kind of incredible life in her when she sings, which I've really not seen in many other actors before.
Tom is such a goofy guy, which I love. I mean, that's so important, because when you're doing heavy subject matter, which this is, so from time to time it gets very heavy, or even when you're just having a light day where you don't have to say anything, or the first day that Tom and I had together working on camera was the explosion in the arena, where the arena gets, you know, exploded into a billion pieces, and we were being attacked with air machines and sound machines that just made it look like it was actually exploding in our faces. And I have never laughed so hard in my life. It's like supposed to be this terrifying scene, and then the second we yelled cut, Tom and I were just having so much fun with one another. He's very, very goofy and fun, and at the same time has such a respect for an actor's process.
I think audiences will be very grateful to get a glimpse into the kind of origin of what made the Hunger Games what they are. I know watching the original movies, always felt like, how did they end up here? I think if there's anything audiences want, it's entertainment and meaning at the same time, and this has all of that.